The Architect's Anchor, the narrative of Esdras and Manasseh. Introduction, the threshold of shattered empires. Think about a timeline stretching across centuries of smoke and stone. First, the shimmering courts of Persia, where exiled intellectuals challenge a king's brilliance to win back their homeland. And centuries later, the smoldering, terrifying ruins of Jerusalem under the iron boot of Rome, where a shattered seer demands answers from the stars. Finally, down in the pitch-black depths of a Babylonian dungeon, an iron-bound king struggles for breath, realizing his worst enemy was never the empire outside, but the corruption within. These three distinct high-fidelity texts, First Esdras, Second Esdras, and the Prayer of Manasseh, form a profound investigative file on human survival. They show exactly how the mind rebuilds when an entire civilization collapses, moving from razor-sharp intellectual dominance to cosmic grief, and finally, the ego-stripping power of the absolute accountability of a large empire. Part 1. First Esdras, the Banqueting Contest of Truth. Our first ledger opens during a grand wine-fueled feast in the courts of King Darius of Persia. Three young imperial bodyguards decide to engage in a high-stakes intellectual wager, slipping a sealed question under the king's pillow. The question is, what one thing is the strongest on earth? When the court assembles, the three youths step forward to defend their written positions before the monarch and his nobles. The first guard argues for the absolute dominance of wine, showing how a single cup levels the mind of the king and the orphan, blurring reality and driving men to reactive chaos. The second guard argues for the absolute dominance of the king, demonstrating that a single word from a monarch mobilizes massive armies, levels mountains, and controls life and death. The third guard, a young leader named Zerubbabel, steps forward and flips the entire paradigm. He acknowledges that wine is strong, kings are many, and women give birth to them all. But he commands the assembly to look past the power at the surface. Zerubbabel declares, "Great is truth, and stronger than all things. All the earth calls upon truth, and heaven blesses her. He does not show partiality, but does what is just. He is the strength, the kingdom, the power, and the majesty of all ages." The entire assembly erupts in applause, shouting, "Great is truth, and strongest of all." Intimidated and inspired by this flawless logic, King Darius grants Zerubbabel total imperial backing, releasing vast wealth and resources to repatriate the exiles and systematically rebuild the Grand Temple in Jerusalem. Part 2. Second Esdras, the Seven Cosmic Paradoxes. The narrative takes a sharp, heavy turn into the deep winter of the soul in Second Esdras. The year is AD 70. Roman legions have completely flattened Jerusalem, turning the temple into a smoking crater. A seer named Ezra sits in the dust, paralyzed by a massive existential crisis. He looks at the ruthless violence of Rome and challenges the heavens, asking why the righteous suffer while brutal tyrants inherit the earth. The angel Uriel descends, refusing to offer cheap comfort. Instead, he challenges Esdras' cognitive limits with a series of sharp, humbling, natural paradoxes. Go away from me the weight of fire, or measure for me a blast of wind, or call back for me a day that is past. When Ezra admits his total human limitation, Uriel reveals that human understanding is a tiny finite lens trying to parse an infinite cosmic tapestry. Through 7 massive cinematic visions, the text pulls back the veil. Mourning woman. Ezra sees a woman weeping in agony over her lost son. Suddenly, her body flashes with a blinding, terrifying radiance, and she is instantly transformed into a massive, shimmering, celestial city, the heavenly Jerusalem, proving that immediate earthly trauma is a labor pain for an unimaginable future structure. The Eagle and the Lion, a monstrous, multi-winged eagle symbolizing ruthless, materialistic Roman Empire, dominates the earth. Suddenly, a roaring lion emerges from the forest, delivering a blistering verbal judgment that shatters the eagle's wings, showing that oppressive, heavy systems harbor the seeds of their own inevitable, rapid collapse. Part 3, The Prayer of Manasseh, The Iron Pivot. The trilogy reaches its rawest, most concentrated point, not in a royal court or cosmic vision, but in the suffocating dampness of a foreign prison. King Manasseh of Judah had been the most arrogant, destructive ruler in the nation's history, erecting pagan altars, practicing dark sorceries, and enthusiastically driving his culture into absolute moral decay. But his arrogance is violently cut short when the Assyrian army captures him with meat hooks, binds him in heavy bronze fetters, and throws him into a dark Babylonian dungeon. Stripped of his crown, his armies, and his delusions, Manasseh undergoes a radical internal demolition. He opens his mouth to deliver a stunningly beautiful, poetic masterpiece of absolute accountability. He does not make excuses. He does not blame his geopolitical enemies or ask for an easy escape from his physical chains. Instead, he blames his own ego, declaring, "I bend the knee of my heart. I have sinned. O Lord, I have sinned, and I know my wickedness only too well." He describes the Creator not as a distant, vengeful tyrant, but as an infinite ocean of long-suffering compassion that outlasts human corruption. This intense, ego-stripping pivot transforms his prison cell into a space of total liberation. It proves that the heaviest, most suffocating chains of life instantly broken the moment a mind stops hiding behind its own defense mechanisms and takes absolute responsibility for its path. Epilogue. The truth, weight, equilibrium. Let's burn away the ancient scrolls and look at the hard operational mechanics of these 3 texts. They map out a brutal psychological concept: the truth, weight, equilibrium. Most people live their lives in a state of constant, exhausting performance. Like the first 2 Persian guards, they chase the metrics of power, social status, professional leverage, or external control, hoping it will protect them from chaos. When a sudden crisis hits, when your personal Jerusalem burns down, or when you find yourself caught in the suffocating heavy chains of a major professional setback, the performance fails instantly. You are left gaslit, panicked, and staring into the dust. These texts demand that you execute a radical cognitive pivot. Stop looking at the immediate weight of the obstacle. The giant problem in front of you, whether it's a toxic institutional structure, a sudden financial disruption, or a deep personal failure, it is all subject to the exact same natural laws as everything else. It looks permanent, but it is textually fragile. Like Zerubbabel, you must anchor your strategy in the raw, unvarnished data of truth, because truth outlasts the temporary leverage of kings and systems. Like Ezra, you must accept that you cannot control the entire cosmic timeline, shifting your focus away from existential panic and toward your immediate responsibilities. And like Manasseh, you must bend the knee of your heart, meaning you strip away your own ego, stop blaming external factors, and take radical, unyielding accountability for your current position. The moment you align your mind with absolute reality, the illusion of the giant obstacle shatters. You regain your footing, establish complete psychological dominance, and step forward into unshakable personal power.